Well, hello again. We are back with another episode of the Corona Spotlight 2020. Hello, everyone. I am your host, Gayle Nicholson, and I am here with you today celebrating another day of beautiful, beautiful weather. Spring is springing, and if you're sneezing, that's a good sign because that's not a symptom of COVID, that's a symptom of allergies. So, welcome to spring. I would like to invite you to welcome with me our guest for today, Miss Kaylie from Cattle Drive. And she is another one of the many data analysis type minded people who has gone into internet business and is using that analytical mind to help you get further reach, understand the way that your new business could be working better, and all of those cool kinds of things that you're going to need to develop a business now that you've chosen, for those who have, to not go back to that day job after all of this is the dust settles. So, again, let me introduce to you Ms. Kaylie Michel. This is web design, SEO, and data and analytics. From cattledrive.com. Thanks for joining us today, Kaylie. How are you?
I'm so well. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Very, very good. Um, I want to really thank you for taking the time to be with us today because I know that, first of all, your company is very much something that is, as a resource, our audience would definitely be interested in hearing from. But I also want to bring into it the fact that you have an immunocompromised person in your immediate family. So the whole quarantine thing is it's real for you. Not that it's not real for the rest of us, but these are life decisions that are being made in your home. So I want to can we start a little bit with how you are standing up inside of the quarantine? What's it like for you?
For me, it's not a huge change at all from my normal daily routines. We normally take a lot of precautions during flu season and other big, illness seasons going on. So it's not too different for my lifestyle. It is different for the people living, not my immediate family, but right out next to us. So my parents, my husband's parents, that's a little bit different for them. But for us, honestly, it's not too big of a change because we already live on that fine line of taking care of ourselves and practicing self quarantine when we have to.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's that's actually really helpful and good to hear, because honestly, if you already have someone in your life like you do that you have to make special concerns for, then it's not a big shock, not a big change, not a big shift. And across the board, I'm finding, quite honestly, that people are not having to shift their lifestyle too very much in reality. There's a
Right.
lot of fear, there's a lot of what if, what could, what might type of energy going on, right?
Right.
But the actual life on a day to day basis doesn't really change much, right? So that's actually pretty good to hear. We're living fairly healthy lives to begin with. So you are also one of the people that has like really looked at what's been going on with coronavirus and the quarantine and modified your business to help people do business better with that. So let me start with that in mind. First of all, um, we know that online business is like has already been pretty healthy, right? There's
Right.
new businesses popping up everywhere. And then, like as I mentioned to you before when we were chatting, deciding to do this together, it started for me when my husband came in from the garage and said they canceled spring training, right? Now, that may not mean much to many people, but we lived in the midst of five spring training facilities, and that I Airbnb'd half of my house. March took care of my mortgage twice over. It was a big sudden hit for us, right? And in that moment, I saw all of these people that would normally have brick and mortar businesses rushing to the internet and not knowing what to do. And the whole point of starting the Corona Spotlight 2020 is to have people just like you who have resources that can help these people that have no clue what to do next in actually building a strong, real business. So, since that flush in has happened to the internet, what are you seeing? And, why did you decide yourself to start a company in that kind of environment?
Well, um, first of all, I started with what I was passionate about, which is as boring as it sounds, is data analytics. I really enjoy it. Um, and I wanted to do something really productive with it, and I wanted to work for myself. And sometimes that can be hard to do, especially if you're more in fields that are not as technical or hands-on. So that's kind of how I got this idea started with my company, is that I would use my skill level, my expertise to drive decisions and recommendations and advice for people seeking website design and SEO and online marketing services.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where the idea started. And then I decided last year that I would launch May 1st. So that was my official launch date I decided on about a year ago. And of course, that didn't really line up well with current events, but what did happen, I mean, it worked out really well because I actually got to do a lot of more service oriented things. And, as we get older, it's kind of hard to make time to volunteer and help other people, like maybe in high school or college, or before you have kids, before you have a huge career, you
Mm-hmm.
have time to do those things. So I've been wanting to do something like that for a while. And honestly, the coronavirus, it sucks. And it sucks for a lot of people, especially if you've been affected directly. But it helped me kind of accomplish that stuff. So instead of saying, oh, crap, I wanted to launch May 1st, and half the people online right now just don't have the budget allocation for online marketing services or SEO. They're just not, they're tightening up, right, and preparing for something more to come.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, what can I do with that, right? So I decided to kind of pair both of those ideas that I've been wanting to help people for a long time. And I finally had time to do it. So what I did is I got into some of the Facebook communities I'm in, and I asked around if people would be interested in learning some SEO and online marketing basics for free. So no strings attached, no sales pitch at the end, absolutely nothing, no strings, right? It's just genuinely wanting to give as much as I can. And so it came to fruition. So I had a handful of people sign up for a 5-week course. And we did it during the initial shutdown in my home state, which is Ohio. And I thought, spreading it out over 5 weeks, that would kind of give everyone, including myself, something to look forward to. So instead of being, flushed with fear and anxiety and worried about, well, what if I go to the grocery store and I come back and now I'm ill, or I pass it on or something. Instead of thinking of that, now it was more of thinking of, oh, next week we're going to be talking about this. So get all of your questions together. Anything you want to learn, let's learn it next week. So it gave the people I worked with something more to look forward to, and same for myself. So no one's immune to fear, anxiety, or anything like that. So it was really helpful for me to actually have every week something to look forward to and meet with these people. So after the 5-week course ended, we kind of turned it into a mini mastermind session where we're just kind of there to help each other grow and succeed and just watch each other flourish. So that's kind of where, that's kind of where the business started and what I started to do during the pandemic. And I loved it. I really did. It was really fun.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know for myself that really helped me too. Doing this show every day gave me a reason to not, nose down into Facebook, all the numbers, all the opinions, all the this, all the that. Gave me something else to focus on, something else to think about. And thank you for doing that for your followers as well, to give them something else to think about. What's next week going to be about? What do I want to know about this? Because we can't hold two thoughts in mind at the same time, right?
Right.
So if you're thinking about virus, You're not thinking about your business, but if you're thinking about your business, you're not thinking about the virus. And that
Right.
is probably the best thing you could possibly do for your immune system is to stop thinking about the
Stressing, right?
virus. Awesome. 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 Now, I wanted to also ask you, your business is different than most, right? How do you differentiate yourself between the millions, literally, of SEO gurus and, web designers, which may or may not have excellent talent, but what makes you special?
Well, I'd like to think I'm special. You're right. We all open up businesses and kind of cross our fingers like, oh, I'm so great. Look at me. Um, but really, what I decided to do was to try to differentiate what I'm doing a little bit and really reach out to the customers that are nervous about spending. In reality, this field, people spend a lot of money in it because there should be a return on investment. There should be. Um, and not every company, not every freelancer, um, not everyone can provide that. And that's just how business runs. Sometimes you have a return on investment, sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to do was use my background with data analytics and actually be providing that information, taking your available data analytics, specifically through Google Analytics is one of the better ones, and taking that and interpreting the data and then creating baselines. And then once we actually decide on what you want to do, whether it's just SEO or a website design or redesign or online marketing, taking that and benchmarking it every 30 days, checking what's going on and interpreting that data and giving you or the client the peace of mind knowing that their funds are going to something that's being reported on as accurately as possible. And that if there's something wrong, if we're not seeing an ROI, if we're not seeing improvement, you're going to know every 30 days and we can change tactics. So that was something I learned a lot. I picked a lot of people's brains. I'm a little uppity, so people a little annoying. I would message them like crazy and say, well, why wouldn't you pay for this? Why wouldn't you go to someone that says they're great at SEO? Or why wouldn't you pay for online marketing through a company and you'd rather go through XYZ? And people were telling me that it's because there's no guarantee either way. They're seeing their money go and companies aren't making a change for 6 months. And they're just, paying and paying and paying and no ROI. So that's kind of what I wanted to do is be able to provide that to someone. So if they wanted to continue services with my company or take it somewhere else or take it in-house, they can, right? Because I provided them that data. And I don't know, just trying to give as much as I can, right? And be as honest and transparent as possible.
That's wonderful. That is really wonderful. I remember that towards the beginning of the quarantine, there was big questions going around on the internet. Should you charge for services during this time? Should you not charge for services during this time? And people were scared enough that they were getting very, very angry at people who were like, look, I have something that can help you, but I have to feed my children too. Right? And you were one of those, thankfully, that was able to put this out there at no cost to people and no sales pitch at the end. So thank you for doing that. But I want to ask you a little bit about what benefits that your group got out of this process over that 5 weeks. And what kind of transformation did you see in the people that took part in this 5-week program that you just finished up?
So I had a couple of participants that were in the middle of starting their first or second business, and they were currently designing their website as we went through this course. So with them, we were able to, we did one-on-ones a lot, walk them through their specific questions for their specific website and how they should build it and how they should advertise it and things like that. So I got to actually walk with a couple of people that were just beginning, and I got to teach them all about keywords and SEO basics and even beyond that. So we were able to get a really wonderful start for their business and their website from the get-go. So one of the participants, they've launched their website and it's beautifully done. And I wish I could take credit. I don't think I can, but I wish I could. It's so well done. She did a fantastic job, listened to everything I had to give to her, and then some. And she did an amazing job. So I got to watch that. I'm still working closely with someone that she is launching her business consultant business company, and she's still working on developing the content she wants. And I don't know, just getting to be a part of that, and we're still working together and enjoying it together, right? So I right now I sent her content for my own website to review and look over, and she's doing the same. So it's just kind of mutually beneficial at this point. So yeah, I didn't get paid. I didn't I didn't get to do that stuff, and that's okay. Luckily, we run a farm, so we have some income from there, so it wasn't a big hit for us, luckily. But yeah, I got to watch all these people just do so well and flourish. I had another business consultant, and she also runs a cleaning service, and she has her websites up, and she's been well established for some time. So we got to go through and do one-on-ones, and just talk about how to make that even better and how to reach more people. And I want to track her analytics for her cleaning service, so we can really track how to make it better and how to get out there more. And again, it's free, but it's kind of like bartering services at this point. And that business consultant, her name is Shanisa Collins, and she is wonderful. So she business consulted everything towards me, because I don't have that. I don't have that ability. It was wonderful. And I don't know, we were able to barter, I guess is the right way to put it, and just share in each other's growth and stuff. So again, I didn't get paid, and that's okay. But it was amazing. It really was. It was fun.
And that's phenomenal. I love to hear about collaborative communities working together so that everybody rises up. That's wonderful to hear. Are you interested in possibly rolling out another one of these 5-week challenges or whatever you want to do this time? And maybe this one should be at cost.
Right.
Small cost, little cost.
Small. Yeah, nothing big. Yeah, so I really love doing that basic beginner course and getting to give people all this information that it took me a really long time to piece together. And that was something that I wanted to also provide in this business, right? Is eventually I'm going to roll out some downloadable DIY courses, because I want to provide to any people that were like me a couple years ago, where I was just trying to learn from everywhere, but there was always a piece of information missing. So anyways, I did this 5-week course, had wonderful feedback, and the way I thought it was going to work, it didn't. The people I was working with, they said, I don't want to learn any more about that right now. I want to learn about XYZ. Teach me everything about that. So I got to actually do market research right there, right there, and design a course specifically for beginners and quote intermediate beginners, as some of them called themselves, and package it all up. So right now I'm going to do that same course, but do it more in a 5-day consecutive style. And again, I got some feedback on what it should be, what it should cost, what it shouldn't cost, and all these things, and what it should be added to it, what should be subtracted to it. And came to the consensus that, it's probably worth $100 some, maybe a couple hundred of content, right? But I'm just going to charge $65. I feel like that's pretty fair. And I can stop relying on our income from our farm and start actually making this business my new income. So yeah, it's super cheap. There's I'm going to have a downloadable workbook that you can keep forever. Any information you learn, you can do whatever you want with it. I don't care if you branch off and then you start your own company and teach it to other people. I don't care. I just want to give what I can and create this company.
I think that's absolutely phenomenal and phenomenally priced. I mean, you're not going to find stuff like this that's actually got the content, that's got the research into it, that's got the what do you want, not what can I teach you, mode of action. So thank you for that. Tell us a little bit more, tell our audience a little bit more how they can sign up for that if they want in on it.
If you want in on it, so it's going to be June 1st through June 5th. And I'll probably hold it a couple times. Again, I'm going to just kind of do what people like. If they like it, in the 5-day version, we'll keep it 5 days. If they'd rather it be weekly, we'll turn it back into 5 weeks. Really, at this point, it's about offering something that people can afford, and then that way I can make it better for the future people that join in. But anyways, June 1st to June 5th is this specific SEO and online marketing basics course, and it's held over Zoom. So it's 5 days of 40-minute sessions. And if you want to join in, no obligation, obviously, if you're watching this, no pressure whatsoever. Just you go to my website, and I think there's a banner at the top you can click and then and purchase from there, and then you'll be in the course.
Excellent. And just to clarify, to make sure everybody's clear on it, Kaylie's website is cattledrive.com. Now it's spelled like cows with only one
Catalyst.
T, right?
Right. Spelled like catalyst.
Yes, but like catalyst. You're sorry, you're absolutely right
That's
about
okay.
that. But you mentioned the farm, and I
know. I knew I shouldn't, because it's confusing. But it's a little ode to what I really, really enjoy. But,
no, and
it is
I love it. I think it's so clever. It is so clever. But it is CATALDRIVE.com. And you said there's a banner up there where they can sign up for it. Guys, come on. You've got to do this. It is $65 for 5 days intensive on what it takes to get your online business out there. Sell plasma, sell a child. You don't need extras. Come on. If you got more than one, get rid of one kid. Sell $65, you're in. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Do not send letters.
Feel free to also, if those days don't line up or that price doesn't match up, send me an email too. You'll find it on the website somewhere if you click around enough. Just email me what you want, right, and what works for you, because I'm designing this company from the ground up, and I really want to design it around the people that are going to be using it. So again, if you can't sign up for whatever reason, that's okay. Send me an email. Let me know why, so I can adjust.
Awesome. Now, what's the number one recommendation that you have, other than taking this course, right, for brand new entrepreneurs that are just getting out there? Maybe they've just been sitting there at a boring job under fluorescent lights for 10 years, complaining about what they would do if they could ever not have to go to work. And boom, you've just been confronted with this opportunity. What are you going to do? What's your advice to them?
Well, first of all, start, right? Just start. And you can always start as a side hustle, which is a fun phrase right now, I guess. But start little, start small, start big. Start with what works for your lifestyle. The important thing is to just start. And secondly, write down a list of everything what you want, what your business is. Write it all down, right? Just jot out some words and ideas about what you're doing. And then on the other side of that, jot down everything that involves running a business. So whatever you think that might be, just brainstorm it out. Nothing's wrong. And then take that and start learning on both lanes. You'll gain the confidence in the business that you want to run, and you're going to gain confidence in running a business. So it's important to balance those sides out a lot. And there's so many free resources out there. I love the library, and unfortunately it's closed right now. But that's where I had stacks of books from the library. I was just reading everything I could. And one other thing to read too, or listen to on audiobooks, is about mindset and motivation, because that's where a lot of people, they get started, they have a great business plan, but they lose their motivation, or their mindset changes and it becomes more negative. So that's something to also keep in mind, is framing yourself well in your mindset and also your business operations.
Yeah, excellent advice. You mentioned audiobooks too, and it just brought something to mind for me. Just because you're not commuting to a day job right now does not mean that you can't go out for a drive and listen to some audiobooks and get some alone time, especially if you're quarantined in a house with people that you love and don't always like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely keep learning, keep putting new information in, analyzing it. Does it fit for me? Does it fit for not later maybe? I love your advice. Now, what are you curious about learning right now? What's your business up to? How are you expanding? What are you picking at now?
So, I established with you guys that I data analytics love it. I still got to learn. There's always more to learn, and more to master with that skill. But the one thing I have come across is the concept of brand equity, and that the fact that you can measure it and you can increase it and measure it again. And I had no idea that brand equity was measurable or that it was even a thing. But basically, it's the value of a brand, and it's measurable. So you know what that means? That means if you are paying right now for online marketing services, or you are doing it yourself, either way, get on Google, start typing that in, try to find the formula for it. I don't know, type in brand equity formula, maybe you'll find something. And start making sure that what you're paying for or the time that you're spending doing is paying off, because it's actually measurable. That's what I'm really into right now, is learning more and more about brand equity.
That is very cool. That is very, very cool. All right, now what would what final thoughts do you have for our audience today?
Final thoughts. I guess just, if you're going to start your business, start it and learn and stay motivated. And on that note, help motivate other people. So give each other grace. Not every business owner has a huge enterprise and is multinational, running, crazy branches everywhere. A lot of small business owners are like me and like Gayle, and we're running our companies, but we need motivation too. So if you see someone doing something in your community, whether it's online or offline, motivate them and let them know that they're doing a good job if they're doing a good job. And just be kind to each other and give each other grace.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for what you're doing and for being here today. I truly appreciate what you are contributing to the recovery from this traumatic event that the entire world is dealing with. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye. When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.